and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how I created a photorealistic drawing of some quality streets. Now in the UK we have lots of different types of sweets that we tend to eat at Christmas time. Quality street chocolates are one of the most nostalgic chocolates for me, so I decided that I wanted to draw these because they have a really nice bright colourful packaging and it's also got a really nice high shine to it, so I thought it would be a really interesting product to draw. I'm going to be using my Polychromos, so let's get straight into the drawing. I decided on which one of my photographs I wanted to use and then sketched it out lightly, and also made sure that I had sketched out where all of the highlights are within the shiny wrappers. And then I start to colour in just with my light red for the strawberry cream chocolate. And I'm just working with a really light red to start off with and lightly shading that across before then filling in with my darker reds where the darkest parts of the shading are. I'm also going to use my white pencil to burnish some of that colouring pencil in together, and also to create a nice light area where the light's hitting on that packaging. And also when you lay down white pencil first, it can be quite difficult to then layer up other colours on top of it, so it's quite a good way to ensure you get a good highlight within your work. I'm quite pleased with how the little twisty end of the chocolate looks, and I'm going to repeat that process now on the main part of the chocolate, so using all of my different reds to build up the colour. And then in the darker shades I'm going to use my magentas and also a little bit of dark blue and black to get the darkest shades possible, so that we get a really good contrast between our lights and our shades in this piece, because that's one of the really important things when you're trying to go for photorealism on shiny objects. You really need to focus on your lights and your dark shades. If you have been one of my subscribers for a while, you will know that I have been trying to improve my photorealism skills, especially drawing food, because that's one of the things that I'm really interested in, looking at nostalgic sweets and food in my own personal work. And you may have seen that I worked on a Haribo sweet drawing earlier in the year. I also use these Faber-Castell Polychromos in that drawing, so I will link that one in the description box below. I'm working on the same process again with this blue sweet as I did with the red sweet, so working from lightest blue down to the very darkest blue, and then just adding in a bit of texture on the top with my darker tones of blue to create the texture of the shiny material that is used within the Quality Street packaging, so the cellophane along with that tin foil. Obviously I need to get a quick TikTok in whilst I am creating my video, and I'm now moving on to my absolute favourite one, which is the purple one. I think that this one is one that I would always go to when I was younger and take pretty much all of them if I could, because who doesn't love the purple one? Let me know in the comments below which is your favourite Quality Street out of the entire tin of Quality Streets. Mine definitely is the purple one, closely followed by the green triangle. So I have created a really light layer of purple and also a little bit of pink in this one, and I have left those really light outlines where I had created the areas for my highlights. I've left those completely clear for now until I layer up over them to get the different tones of the light packaging within my drawing. And again, I'm working from light to dark, and I'm using a mixture of purples and blues within this piece. I will also add in some blacks as well, just to get the very darkest tones in possible to really give this piece some depth. So from one favourite to another, I'm now going to start working on the green triangle. And for this one, I'm really going to focus on layering again, using a mixture of my different greens that I have available. And I'm just layering lightly to begin with, before then adding a darker, heavier pressure over the top. And as you can see, we have got lots of different shades within this triangle. And I'm using my black again to really go over any areas that need defining slightly more, and also leaving some areas lighter where that tinfoil is reflecting in the light. I will be showing you later on in the video how I create even further highlights within this piece, so make sure you keep watching so you don't miss out on how I create those to really make this drawing pop and look as realistic as possible. So now on to the toffee penny, and again I'm making sure I use a mixture of my yellows and my oranges to create the packaging. And one of the things that I really tried to show with this is the translucent quality of the cellophane over the top of the quality streak, and I think I've managed this quite well in those twisted parts of the packaging, because you can see that there's a slight depth of colour to the cellophane where the cellophane is overlapping, or there might be just one layer of cellophane and it is a lot lighter. So I'm really pleased with how that is looking. Now onto the pink fudge, and I'm adding in again a very light shade of pink for this one, and adding that across the majority of the sweet. Also notice how I have overlapped some pink into the blue, so where the twisted part of the pink packaging is, that was overlapping on top of the blue coconut sweet, and because they were overlapping there was a slight purple tint to the packaging, so I've got that into my drawing to make it look as realistic as possible. Also, because the packaging for these sweets is shiny with the cellophane, I'm getting a lot of reflection from the sweets, so I'm going to subtly add in some of the reflections. So I can see some blues and a little bit of green reflecting onto the pink sweet, and I'm also going to add in my darker shades just to make sure that this sweet looks as realistic as possible. I don't want my sweets to look like they're just floating in the middle of the paper, so I'm now adding in a shadow so that it grounds the drawing. And I'm going to just add a very light shade first of all before then defining that further. And I'm also going to add a bit of colour into the shadow, because the cellophane is translucent. Some of that colour was actually reflecting down onto the surface that I took my photographs on. And then I define the shadows a little bit further with another dark pencil, before then going in with my Faber-Castell pen to add in some highlights. Now I use this pen first of all to get the first layer of highlights down. However, this pen doesn't really show up as well as just a jelly roll pen on the lighter sections. So this pen works well on the darker sections, and then once I've done that, I then go over with my jelly roll pen to add in some extra highlights. And I think that this really finishes it off so well, and I'm really pleased with the final outcome. I think that it is really realistic looking and exactly what I was trying to aim for with the actual drawing. And I think I'm getting so much better at realism. My aim was to improve with my drawing skills and my colouring pencil skills, and I definitely feel that I have. So there you have it. That was my polychromo drawing of those quality street, and I am so pleased with the final outcome. I feel like I have really improved on my photorealism skills, and I think there's a really big improvement from my Haribo sweet drawing to this one. So if you haven't seen that, I will link it below. And I also think that I don't use my colouring pencils enough. So if there are any suggestions on videos that you would like to see, let me know in the comments and I will plan those ones in for my videos next year. Thank you so much for watching my video and supporting me this year with growing my channel. Hopefully we can make next year a really successful one on my channel. If you have enjoyed my video today, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe so you never miss any of my future videos, and I will see you next week. So I'll see you in 2021. Bye.